Few things in life are more stressful, painful, or gossip-friendly than divorce. But one reality star felt the need to take to Instagram to claim that hers, at least, isn't so bad that she has to rely on a little help from her friends. Larsa Pippen is more than just a reality personality with a name that surely belongs to a whimsical side character in an epic fantasy story. She's also a mother, a close friend of Kourtney Kardashian, and had a fairly epic breakup last year. Recently, a story ran alleging that Larsa's ex, Scottie Pippen, had cut her off during their divorce. Now, that's a real thing that happens in so many divorces. It can be months before a court actually orders payments, and breadwinners can do all sorts of nasty things in the meantime to sabotage their spouses, from closing lines of credit to emptying shared accounts. To say nothing of custody fights, blackmail, and a host of other tricks and strategies that people employ to try to ruin the lives of the person they once loved. Divorce can be an ugly, ugly business. But apparently things aren't nearly that bad for Larsa and Scottie, because Larsa took to social media to clear things up. Where do they get this from? She captioned on Instagram. So false. Scottie's attorney also confirmed to E! that the report was untrue. In fact, apparently Larsa and ex-Scottie are working towards some sort of reconciliation. Considering that police were called to their home at least twice last October, we can't wholeheartedly applaud them for trying to mend fences. Anybody can work past alleged cheating if they want to. But when the police are called, things are a lot more serious, even if it isn't a domestic violence scenario. There's just a lot that we don't know about these two. But, yeah, if they're having an amicable divorce and working towards reconciliation, which is almost always the advice that any ethical attorney gives, then that doesn't sound like a scenario where Scottie would have cut her off. Let alone where Larsa would be mooching off of Kourtney. Surely Kourtney's dealing with enough ex-nonsense of her own. We're not saying that we know for sure that the story was fake. Clearly, Larsa and Scottie would both have every motive to deny it even if it were true. Fake news, like imagined child sex rings run out of non-existent basements, can be about anything. Though unfortunately certain people heard the stories that they'd latched onto described as fake news and started parroting the term, like toddlers who've just learned an obscenity, whenever they don't like a headline. But a celebrity gossip story that turns out to not be true is usually super believable. It's super believable that a woman would be financially cut off during a divorce. It's similarly believable that her famously wealthy friend might help her out. If nothing else, it's because so many fans can easily imagine Kourtney, who's generally regarded as a nice person, supporting her friend during a tough time. And everyone who fantasizes about being rich tends to imagine the things that they could do for their friends. So, even if that story about Larsa was false, it still would have been believable to many people who read it. We have to say that it's always interesting to see when a celebrity reacts to a story about them. A lot of celebrities remain dead silent about the news about them. Many, like Kylie Jenner, seem to exist in a bubble where they're protected from most genuine criticism. What little they do see online, whether on Twitter or Instagram or wherever, they seem to dismiss as hate, even if someone has a valid point. Probably because an especially famous celeb might get thousands of hateful messages in a single day, and don't have the time or energy to read them all, let alone consider which of the dozens or so that they do see might have merit. But Larsa noticed this and felt a need to respond. Kind of makes you wonder how often other stars see pieces about themselves but don't reply, huh?